I love the letter that you wrote to your daughter at the end of Moran, and it actually reminded me of I'm rereading 1984 at the moment because I did a film called The Circle, which shares a lot of the same themes, and it talks about in this book how for the first time in human history we actually have the potential, we have the technology, we have the scientific advances, we have the knowledge for the first time to feed the world, to possibly create peace, to actually achieve all of these things. But for the first time in human history, we don't believe that it's possible, that humanity will allow us to do that. We don't believe in the innate goodness of humans to achieve this anymore. There's this kind of disillusionment which has followed the Enlightenment. There's this lack of hope that we can actually get this done anymore. And it's so ironic and tragic that it really would be the first moment we would actually be able to do it. And there's been all these times in history when we were writing books about utopias and we were imagining all of these wonderful societies and whatever else, and now all we do is we make movies about dystopias and about the world ending and apocalypse and everything just crumbling around us. And I thought that was really interesting, and I loved that Moranifesto was just full of hope, and just the idea that this is absolutely possible. You don't need to watch the news every night. You can have a diet of hope and belief and faith in human beings.
Well, totally. Well, the future is a propaganda war. Kind of like, we are choosing whether we're going to be pessimistic or optimistic about the future. And the way that the news media is set up at the moment, and the tone that social media has, these two incredibly powerful places where we have all our conversations, and where we go, what's the world like today? Well, I'll look at the news and I'll go on social media. That's what the world is now.
Yeah.
And the tone of both those places is incredibly pessimistic. It's only showing us problems. It's only showing us things when they've tipped over and it seems like they can't be solved anymore.
Yeah.
And people's reaction to that is necessarily one of being completely overwhelmed and just going, well, we're pumped then, this is it. But that's where you realise that, on a day-to-day basis, one of the greatest things that you can do to the continuation of our species and making the world a better place is to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Is to not believe in that. Because, if we all thought that everything was going to get better, then things would get better.
Yeah.
But, if at the point where you just become, oh no, it's just too exhausting, I can't do anything about
It's not going to make a difference.
that is where we lose the war. So there's a brilliant lyric by the band The Divine Comedy that fate doesn't hang on a wrong or right choice. Fate just depends on the tone of your voice. And that is so key, because if you make mistakes in your life, decisions that you make won't ruin your life, but if your tone all the way through is of one of unhappiness or anger, or if you're an unpleasant person, that will dictate your life.
Totally.
And it's the same with our species. We can make all these mistakes, but if our general tone is one of we're together in this, we're going to make things better, then that is what will happen.